Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Labris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Hey there, welcome back, Barely Qualified and Bears fans, for the 19th episode of the year. I'm Drew Bailey. With me, as always, is Jason Maxwell and Nick Labris. Been a bit of a hotline change lately with me moving, Jay traveling a little bit, and the ever-constant Nick Labris behind on your Bears, his go-to and analyst of the pod here. I think we're back on track, and especially the Chicago Bears are back on track, getting 4 wins in a row, and we're going to talk about the upcoming Bears week versus the Baltimore Ravens, going to Baltimore. Going to dive into that. We're going to talk a little bit about our Guillotine League and fantasy and betting sectors, and finally hit some bets this week, boys, as a combined grouping. There's no guarantee in that. Just have to have a disclaimer, as Nick always says. We don't guarantee you that we're going to win our bets, but we're going to try very, very hard, and you should tail us, because once we do, we're never going to let it go. But really quick, before we get to some Bears talk this week against the Ravens, I want to talk to you about our friends over at Glenrock Pop. Barely Qualified is proudly fueled by the fizz of Glenrock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival, crafted with pure cane sugar, poured into classic glass bottles and bursting with nostalgic flavor. Glenrock Pop is more than a drink. It's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange cream soda or Nick Labris' personal MVP, the new lime, Glenrock is bringing the joy back to every corner of Lake County. Want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Follow Glenrock Pop on Facebook for their latest event stops. If you're ready to stock up, then head over to glenrockpop.com, find retailers near you, and from tailgates to game days, Glenrock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink, celebrate. So, boys, we're getting into some preview of this game, which we're kind of respectfully uber careful with and scared for. We've got the Bears versus the Ravens going to Baltimore. The lines are ever shifty, and still we're concerned about some health problems here and there on both teams. But Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk a little bit about what's going on with the Bears, what's going on with the Ravens, and what are some of the storylines we're looking forward to this week.
Yeah, so once again, Bears are finally setting back into that noon Sunday kickoff, which I, again, must stress how much I love a noon kickoff on a Sunday. So Bears at Baltimore at noon on Sunday. As of taping, let me see. The line I think moved since we wrote this down. I think it's at 6.5 now.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Bears are plus 6.5, and that literally changed in the past 3 hours. So Bears are plus 6.5. Over under is 49.5. So you want some storylines. I don't think you can go any further in storylines versus it's number one, big, bold letters. Lamar Jackson. Is he playing? Is he back? What's going on with Lamar? All signs point to him being back. Surely the line points to him being back. So I would say there's a pretty good chance that he's back. He looks like, according to the Baltimore Ravens injury report, that he was a limited participant the last 2 days. So you got to believe that he is going to give it a go. So I guess let's just start there, right? Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP of the NFL? Probably should have been 3-time last season, because we talked about it. Josh Allen was the MVP last season. Lamar had better numbers across the board than Josh Allen did last year, and they had a better record. No, they didn't have a better record. They were close. So 2-time MVP back at home against the Bears, who have a getting better, but still statistically pretty bad defense. Yeah, it makes me very nervous. I mean, the Bears have been climbing the rankings a little bit the last 2 weeks. The Commanders game, again, Commanders are a good team, so take a lot of credit for that one. But you play against, Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints, your numbers are going to get better. Just kind of the way the cookie crumbles on that one. I'm just going to kick it around the horn. I mean, Lamar Jackson. I'm very afraid of Lamar Jackson. I've seen what this man can do to good defenses, and I don't think the Bears have a very good defense. So, Jay, give me your thoughts on Lamar, and if he plays, how much of a difference he makes in this game.
I mean, I think we got to just buck up and accept the fact that he's going to play. Vegas isn't putting a line out there like that without having some news that he's gonna play, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I know that the Ravens are 1-5, but that's not a real reflection of that record, right? They played the Bills, the Lions, the Chiefs. Then Lamar got hurt, so throw those other games out. It doesn't really matter. Cooper Rushing going to do it. But I think for me in this game, Lamar starting not good. What scares me is Lamar starting, Derrick Henry starting, and that run game against our front four. We were talking about it in the previous show too, 44 yards against the Saints. But like you said, and how the cookie crumbles, that's what you're expected to do.
Yeah.
This is the true test. Can the Bears actually put their feet in the ground and say, we are committed to stopping the run against this Ravens team who's, hey, the Commanders were coming in when we were playing them with the most rushing yards. We know that the best rushing team in the NFL is and always will be the Ravens so long as they have a healthy Lamar and a healthy Derrick Henry. Their stats might be down this year, but they're coming off a bye. They're getting healthy again. The hope is that there's a lingering hamstring injury with Lamar that can hamper his ability to be mobile, right? And that's really kind of it, because we don't have the personnel to stop that. We really don't. I think what Greg Williams has been doing in the past couple of weeks, sending pressure and loading the box, Nick, exactly like you said, having that Jaquan Brisker, that nickel kind of come in as an extra quote unquote linebacker kind of wild card situation. You got to keep doing that because you got to stop the run. Unfortunately, Lamar's doing really good with his arm as of the last couple of years too. So you just gotta commit to stopping the run, in my opinion, and hope that Lamar's having an off night.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it best. I mean, the key to stopping Lamar, and I say stopping put air quotes on that, whatever you want. The key to limiting Lamar is definitely making him beat you with his arm, not his legs. Because once he starts beating you with his legs, then the passing game really opens up, and it's just an absolute slippery slope. So, Drew, how concerned are you about Lamar coming back? Ravens are desperate for a win. Jay, you just mentioned it. They're 1-5. I didn't mention it off the top. Ravens are desperate for a win. Lamar's coming back. There's a lot of factors pointing towards the Ravens in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, no, thank you. I think that it's scary, of course, seeing a mobile quarterback. This is the first one we've seen in a little bit of time. I don't necessarily think that Spencer Rattler is a good scrambler or good out of the pocket. The one thing that I will say is Lamar was looking suspect in his scrambling efforts before he got injured. Like the pocket was collapsing quick on him and he was not getting out of the pocket very easily. Now, could have been something lingering, but I'm just taking the opposite side of Jay here of the line and saying, it's suspect in the fact that it's 6 or 6.5 for the Ravens, and we don't have a definite Lamar in. And I think that's you're not going to jump and scramble one side right now, not knowing what he is going to be. And once he might be deemed in or out, it could shift either way, and you could see a lot of money put down on it. But I think if you see him out, then that's going to be removed from the lines really, really quick. And then it's going to be probably a pickup at some point. But at the same time, like you were saying, Nick, it it scares the hell out of me with Lamar and this defense, and the fact that our pressure seems to be questionable, if you will.
Yeah,
Very
questionable. Questionable's nice.
With what they do. But the good news is their offensive line is not great. It's not amazing. Yes, Derrick Henry had 122 rushing yards last game, but they were not playing a good team. He hasn't had good rushing games in the past, besides that last game against the Rams. The Houston, we've got 33, 42, 50, 23. Like, it scares the hell out of me because this offense, we know what it can be. But it all heaves on whatever Lamar is going to be deemed in or out.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, in my mind, I don't think it's even really a question anymore. I think Lamar's playing. I don't really think that I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
Just again, based on, I think, the line, and also just based on the fact that he's actually participating, even though it's limited. I think the fact that he's participating in practice is a big indicator as well. And also, again, Ravens are desperate. They're 1-5, so they need to string some wins together. So I don't think
on the line.
Jobs are very much on the line over there. But one thing, you brought the offensive line for the Ravens, and I just want to say give out one quick statistic. The Baltimore Ravens are 18th in the NFL at protecting the passer. They've given up 20 sacks this season. I don't know what the breakdown is versus like Lamar versus, their backup quarterbacks that have played, but Cooper Rush. And I think also, what's his name? Their third string got in the last week too. Can't think of what his name is. He was their backup like back in the day, a couple years ago too. Tyler Huntley, that's his name. Tyler Huntley.
Okay.
So Tyler Huntley got some action last week too. So I'm not sure what the breakdown between. I assume Lamar got the majority of those because he's got the majority of the snaps this season. But also Cooper Rush seems like a guy who could get sacked a lot. So I don't know what the breakdown is.
Yeah.
But so the O-line gives up pressures. I'll be honest though, when I hear that, all I see in my mind is, the Bears getting quick pressure and Lamar just like spinning out of it and him just like stiff arming Montez Sweat to the ground and like running past him. That's like that's all I'm seeing in my mind right now. So I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see a good pass rush get home. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I think one key, and honestly, one thing Lamar has gotten a lot better at in the last few years, hence the MVP and the MVPs and the MVP notoriety and all that. He's got a lot better at taking care of the ball in terms of interceptions. He only has one interception this season. As we know, the Bears are. That's kind of what they rely on as a defense, is the takeaways. They give up a lot of yards, they give up a lot of field goals, and they take the ball away. That's kind of the Bears' recipe for success there, which obviously is not something you can really hang your hat on, getting turnovers. But they seem to be doing it. And I don't know if it's luck or if they're actually just really good at causing turnovers, because a lot of the interceptions seem like just kind of bad throws. But then the fumbles can be, we've seen with Peanut Tillman, fumbles can be, something that you actually are good at and can take away. Oh, God, Carson Wentz just threw a really bad pick. Sorry.
He got hot before that, though.
Yeah, he did, but I think he's a couple yards short still.
We need Herbie to get like 25. Oh no!
Did Hawkinson? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, we're tracking a parlay here. All the boys are on it, so just FYI, we might be looking at the game a little bit. So anyway, so the turnovers is key to this game. If the Bears can take the ball away from the Ravens, I think they have a chance at winning this game. Definitely covering the 6.5 point spread. If the Ravens are good with the ball and they don't turn it over, then I think we got problems. We talk about Lamar not throwing interceptions, but as we've kind of seen, Derrick Henry has kind of caught that fumbleitis a little bit this year.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's out of the question, but I can also see Derrick Henry just carving up the Bears defense on the ground as well. So, I mean, Bears causing turnovers is a very big thing, is a big key to the game for me. I don't know. Do you guys have any major keys you want to, like, Drew, is there anything that you specifically want to see out of the Bears defense to try and stop the Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I question is what the Bears' identity is on defense. We've talked about the bend but don't break in the past, and now seemingly it has turned into the turnover defense. that we've seen in the past. What are the Bears going to be for the next 10 weeks of the season? 11 weeks of the season? Are we going to see a bunch of turnovers? Like, you can't rely on 4 turnovers a game, 3 turnovers a game. Are we going to get the bend but don't break Bears come back? And I'd love to see that in this game. Like, know there are going to be yards given up if Lamar is healthy. So where are you going to have that stop at? Is it going to be in the red zone? Is it going to be on your side of the field? Is it going to be on their side of the field? I think the most common thing that we can hope for against good offenses is bend but don't break, so that our offense can have the chance to perform. Where it comes right now, guys, I'm questioning, because we have seen good defense, and I just don't think we can rely on that this year. Of the Bears taking the ball away consistently, being that moniker of what is going to happen here. Jay, I want to ask you, like, 4 turnovers, 3 turnovers, 2 turnovers, is that something that, like, you think that they are going to force somewhere, or that we have a good enough secondary to say, yeah, we can rely on 1 to 4 turnovers a game just to stay in games or to be competitive?
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to be sustainable to get 3 or 4 a game, right? I think that 1 or 2 is reasonable. I think they're kind of ball hawking. They're looking to force turnovers pretty aggressively and kind of have that Peanut Tillman kind of mentality of go for the ball, tackle, wrap, gang tackle, go for the ball if you're coming in later. And I dig that. And the secondary itself has been Byard, 4 picks on the season so far. That's pretty damn good. Nashawn Wright coming up big. So there's some guys on the secondary that may be a little bit under heralded at this point that have a good nose for the football. In Nick, to kind of speak to the keys of the game piece as well, I think on the defensive side of the ball, we really need to have, and I think Greg Williams has understood this. This is why he's the defensive kind of guru that he is coming into it. But I think he heard the pod, like we've said before, and he was listening to you about having Jaquan Brisker and kind of overload the box with some of those secondary guys, safeties moving down in that, like I said earlier, in that wild card spot. And I think that's going to need to continue. And when you do that, if you overcorrect to get additional pressure, for example, last week we had 4 sacks. 3 of those sacks came from a linebacker, a nickel, and a safety.
Jaquan Brisker had a couple,
right. So it's like, if that's how you got to get the pressure, then you give up some secondary coverage, right? I mean, and so then you put more stress and strain on man-to-man coverage. You have to have someone that can cover Zay Flowers if they're going to run play action and load the box and send an extra man. Well, then you're going to have one less in the secondary. The secondary has proven up to the challenge so far. The concern is when you're having an elite MVP quarterback and an elite MVP kind of coaching game plan, how do you want to not get bitten? And so everyone's going to have to play at an elite level. One of the other scary things, guys, is Tyreek Stevenson's not going to be playing in this game most likely. So we're going to be down Jalen Johnson again, Tyreek Stevenson here. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the secondary to make up for the fact that we have to generate pressure somehow and to stack the boxes to stop the run as well. So the stress is going to be on the secondary this game, in my opinion. If the game plan's what I think it is, and it's going to be to kind of send extra people from the linebacker positions and from the secondary. So, keys of the game, I would say establish that pressure. We know that's not going to happen with the front 4. So when you're sending an extra guy, have the secondary be ready to play a man down and cover your positions. So tall order, we'll see if they can do it. They've been doing it so far, but it's a different animal with a Lamar Jackson at the helm. So it's cause for concern, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. And Drew, to kind of go back to your point, one thing I want to call out is that, we don't play the Ravens often. Last time we played them was like 4 years ago, something like that. I think we play them like every 4 years. Back when we played them, the bend but don't break defense was even an issue because they had a kicker, Justin Tucker, who whatever you bad guy, but good kicker at the time.
Good kicker, yeah.
And once they crossed midfield, they were pretty much in his range. They do have I don't know if he's a rookie. He's definitely like a young kicker I never heard of named Tyler Loop. His career long is 52 yards, so it's not quite the weapon that they had before. So I think that kind of gives even more credence to like the bend but don't break. Like if we can make them kick field goals, I don't think they're necessarily automatic. And I don't think, again, once they cross midfield, it's not guaranteed 3 points like it used to be. So I think that's important as well.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
So if we're going to go, we talked through the defense. I mean, again, defense is kind of always, I think the run game is going to get gat. They're going to give up numbers. It is what it is. Let's try and get some turnovers and try to not, try to hold them in the red zone. And the pass game also probably the same thing. Let's try and get some turnovers. Probably not going to get pressure. Probably going to give up some yards, but let's try and hold them in the red zone. Let's go over to the Bears offense versus the Ravens defense. So this is kind of an unusual Ravens team. We're used to the Ravens having a run first offense and a elite defense, and the Ravens defense ranks right around the Bears in pretty much every category. They have a pretty bad defense. They're not very good against the run or the pass. I think they give up like 2 yards per game less on the run than the Bears do. They give up more yards on the pass than the Bears do, I believe. So this is a Ravens defense that has not been very good this season. They have played some of the better teams in the NFL, like we talked about earlier, but still their defense is usually very good. They're number 26 in the league in scoring defense. So our offense has been, like I said last week, peaks and valleys where we've been kind of peaking a little bit, or valleying. I'm sorry. We're in the valley right now, the last game and a half. So can we turn this around, you guys? Like, I'm just curious what you guys think. Like, we really need a game where Caleb can, because I don't know about you guys, but I think the Ravens are going to put up points in this game. I just think that's kind of what's going to happen. Can Caleb stand on the other side of the field from Lamar Jackson and go and, answer his scores? I've seen him play like that, but I've also seen more of him not play like that. So I'm just curious, Drew, do you think that Caleb has the ability, or even against a defense of this caliber and not very good, can Caleb, can he do this? Can he keep the Bears in this game?
Yeah, it's a great question, Nick. We're going on the road for 3 of the next 4 games, and seeing Caleb perform away from home is going to be a huge thing that we need to see. Can Caleb do it? I think he can. I think there's enough weapons, and that's a soft enough secondary that we've seen injuries happen, or we see injuries happen right now, that we can certainly dissect that defense. The big thing for me is we've seen the run game definitely supplant itself as a serviceable run game over the last two games, and we want to continue to see that. But I think more than anything, it needs to be Caleb in the passing offense this week to keep up with the Baltimore Ravens. Caleb is going to have to dictate a game and play the entire game as if you are trailing and you are trying to keep up with an MVP. If Lamar is healthy, and that's what you're going to be judged against, especially in this game. Can you hang with an MVP? You've seen a lot of times where he gets matched up with other QBs, and that's going to be the analysis that everyone's going to stick on, especially your color commentary, your analysts that are up in the booth. They're going to say, okay, it's Caleb versus who? It's Caleb versus Lamar. It's Caleb versus whoever other quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And I think Caleb actually shines in those sorts of things in season 2 right now. So I do think Ben Johnson is going to set him up for success in high completion passing right now, and especially in leaning on that run game, to where we need to see Caleb just absolutely blow the doors off of a defense that should have their doors blown off. Score a lot of points. It's 49.5. That's crazy to me in an NFL game for a Bears game. right now.
Yeah.
I know we're averaging 25 and a half, almost 26 points, but that does still feel like a lot. And that shows me that they think that the Bears are going to score a sizable amount of points. And I think Caleb can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay, I mean, what do you think about the Bears offense going up against this, like, again, bottom third of the league, Ravens defense, who has proven that they, give up a lot of yards and a lot of points so far this season?
Yeah, I'm decently optimistic about how the offense is going to show up. I think, we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, and the passing game really hasn't been there. They're still putting up mid-20 points, right? Or more than that without clicking on all cylinders. I think that's been, I know it's been driven. We know it's been driven by the run game being established. And so I'll kind of attack the question by saying, hey, listen, if we can stay with what we've been doing and establish that run game, it does take the load off of Caleb quite a bit. A couple of stats on the Ravens defense, just to kind of pour more poop on them really quick, but they're giving up 32.3 points a game. That's astonishing. That's not a Ravens number that you would become familiar with over the last decade, right? So they are gettable. They have some injuries. They have some just lack of talent on the defensive line, to be quite honest with you. They're giving up 134 yards a game on the ground. So if the Bears can put up around 134 on the ground, that will, stop me if you've heard this before, but it'll set up play action. It'll play well to the Ben Johnson type of offense. And I think that we can still remain competitive, even if Caleb doesn't have an A game. I would put the floor that he needs at least a B game. He needs to show up. He can't be doing what he's been doing the last couple of weeks, but I think it's attainable. I think it's doable by establishing the run against a Ravens defense that isn't really great against the run. So I think there's a path forward there. Stick with the game plan of what's been working in the last couple of weeks and hope and pray to God that Caleb can, at least have a B game to stay competitive. If we get the A game, I think, I think there's a real shot of winning the game. It's just we haven't seen too much A game from Caleb lately, and we kind of need to bank on that a little bit. So that would be my kind of analysis.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I definitely agree with you there. We need to see a solid effort from Caleb this week. One other thing I want to talk about is I just want, one trend I've kind of noticed. You saw it in the first game of the season against the Vikings for sure, even against the Commanders didn't put them away when we should have, and even sort of against the Saints. The Saints, we ended up winning by, we won by 2 scores, but that's just mainly because the Saints offense was absolutely, inept and couldn't do anything right. The Bears have this tendency to kind of start hot and then coast, right? This is a problem. It's been a problem all season so far, where the first quarter they put up some points. Their scripted drive on the first half, their first possession usually looks pretty clean. This is a team that if you put up 17 points in the first half and expect to win with 21 or 24 points, you're probably going to lose, because the Ravens can put up points fast. This is a good team. So I say this every week, but let's not settle for field goals, and let's keep our foot on the gas, because these are the two things that we need to do to beat a good team. You can't beat a good team with field goals, right? Yeah. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So again, don't look at the Ravens record. Yeah, they're 1-5, but they're a good team. They were many people's Super Bowl favorite, or at least AFC favorite coming into the season. So the Ravens are a good team, and they're getting the whole band back together this week. So if you have a chance to score points in the first half, let's make them touchdowns. And then again, second half, let's keep our foot on the gas. Let's not, don't need to give the ball back to the Ravens without scoring any points or anything like that. Let's just keep our foot on the gas and let's keep scoring points.
Agreed 100%. I wanted to throw in one more thing too, in the sense of kind of the coaching mentality. I think we have 2 different teams on 2 different, completely different wavelengths. So we have a ultra talented team in the Ravens that is truly 1-5, worst possible start imaginable. No one before the season would have imagined or even dared say that the Ravens are going to be 1-5 going into week 8. That just was off the board, off the table. So, you have a seasoned veteran like John Harbaugh, underperforming team, ultra talented. I'll shout out Mooj, who's in the YouTube comments. he did bring up something important too. The Ravens
I
are
was
going to be
gonna bring
coming
that up,
off of a bye, right? Their season's basically on the line with this game. You can't go 1-6 and expect to make the playoffs. You really can't. It's incredible. I wonder what the statistics are on that. But the Ravens implemented the no fun policy. Hey boys, we're 1-5. Take all your fucking fun out of the locker room. Get the ping pong tables out, the pool tables out, the video games out. We mean business. And on the other side of that tail is what Ben Johnson has to deal with. He has a team that maybe wasn't expected to be 4-2 through their first 6 games, probably coming off of an ultra high. How do you enforce that discipline and instill that this is a big fucking meaningful game? Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Let's stay disciplined. And like you said, Nick, learn how to keep your foot on the throat, right? And learn how to ensure that if you're coming off to a hot start, keep that hot start going, because that's what you need to do to beat these elite good teams. And again, I'll still consider the Ravens, when fully healthy, an elite team and a Super Bowl favorite, if you will. So it's going to be an interesting kind of coaching match to see how prepped both teams come in and how ramped up they are and motivated to win this game. And so this to me, I want to see how the Bears come out of the gate to see what kind of coaching Ben's done. He understands that John Harbaugh is going to be giving it everything. The Ravens are going to be giving it everything. So can he keep the Bears focused and in line? And we'll see.
Yeah. How do you bury that should be an NFL question. How do you bury a team that needs to be dead for a year?
Yeah.
Like, how can you do that? We don't know. We only know it from the opposite side. How do you bury that team completely? And I think the only thing that I can think subsequently in my mind, the answer is just blow the doors off of them and just put them to bed and make them silent. Can it happen? We don't know right now as Bears fans, but beating them is step one. And coming out with an offense, in my mind, coming out with an offense that controls a game, and especially Nick, you touched on it, and Jay, you touched on it too, with that run game that we've somehow found of the last 2 weeks to make that be constant is, I think that would deflate their sales. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, and so just to kind of put a cherry on top of this whole Ravens situation, like I think the Bengals Bengals Steelers game last week that the Bengals won is actually going to be a big game for the future of the AFC North. If the Steelers win that game going into this week, they're 5-1, but now they're 4-2. They're only 3 games up on the Ravens in the win column, and the Ravens still play the Steelers twice. I don't think the Bengals or the Browns are going to necessarily be a big factor in the AFC North. So the Ravens still have their season in front of them at 1-5. Don't let that record fool you. The Ravens still have the AFC North to play for. So they're a hungry team. And Jay, I'm glad you brought up the ping pong tables and all that stuff, because I do think that's actually an interesting coaching move. I feel like usually it goes one of two ways. I feel like either like a team responds and they actually, kind of play well, or it's a team that's a coach that's on his way out and he's trying every trick in his hand to try and not get fired. So I think John Harbaugh is a good enough coach. He's been there long enough. I think he's probably the most tenured coach in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken.
It's either him or Tomlin, right? Those guys are dogs.
Maybe Tomlin, but it's either one of the teams. He's right up there. Yeah, he's right up there. So this guy knows what he's doing. He's got the pulse of the locker room. You got to believe, right, after that many years. It's like not a super young team. Like, it's kind of the same guys that have been around for a while. So we'll see how that turns out. I don't know. I do think the Bears offense can put up some numbers against this Ravens defense if we can just get some pressure. We can just avoid getting pressure on Caleb. But also, like we said, Drew, last week, we were, sometimes it kind of seems like Caleb likes the pressure. He plays better with the pressure. I kind of wish he would be able to not, but that's how it looks sometimes. So a couple of things I want to talk about, though. So we talked about offense and defense. I got a question for you guys. I thought about this while we were getting ready to go. Special teams, guy who hasn't really done much, but Devin Duvernay, former Raven. Devin Duvernay revenge games.
Revenge game. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe he'll bobble a catch at the goal line and put us on the 2-yard line for our first possession.
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, I don't know. He has not been great as a returner, but he also hasn't done anything terrible as a returner.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just kind of a guy.
Just
I don't know.
kinda
I'm gonna
there.
throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, hell, I like it. Revenge game. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
The way that I see this return game in the NFL nowadays is if you are not getting past the 25 and getting to at least the 30, with how passive it seems like the hitting is, that's not successful on special teams. And it seems like Devin Duvernay has no way of getting there for us. And you do have a young kid in LeVar Burton to get there. Like, why? It's dumbfounding to me. Yes, Devin Duvernay has possession qualities and he doesn't fumble the football very much, but like, I don't get it. Let your young kid catch the ball, run a bunch. You designed a few plays for him. Like, guys, I'm done with Devin Duvernay.
Are you done with
Revenge
Lamar
game
Burton?
or not?
Yeah, I will say LeVar Burton is the host of Reading Rainbow from when we were kids.
I'm sorry, Luther Burton. Oh, Jesus. There
I
you
would
go.
love to see LeVar Burton out there returning kicks, though. He's probably like 70 years old.
Put it on another.
It's exploded.
Yes.
Was that movie where the guy just got tackled in half?
Yeah.
But
Reading Rainbow crunch.
Yeah. You're right though. Like, if you're not, like, Luther Burden has proven in some instances that he is a decent return guy. He's just dynamic with the ball in his hands. Don't understand why he's not back there.
He is though, but he defaults to the catching for Duvernay for some reason.
That's how it's, a kick return is essentially a play, and that's his job on there is to, like, Duvernay's the returner. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. But
he's not Bayless, so at least we got that going for us.
God, Bayless Jones. I wonder what that guy's up to right now.
Probably gambling.
Oh, he's on the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh man, we missed a revenge game last week.
We sure did.
I'd be shocked if he actually played in any games, though. He's probably like healthy scratches. That's funny. Anyway, okay, last thing I definitely, like, one of the last things I want to talk about, because I also want to get to the injury report, but I want to talk through, obviously Bears, Ravens. I don't think you can really have this game without talking about Roquan Smith. Bears drafted him pretty high. He was a good player for the Bears, wanted a big extension. It's a whole thing. Do you guys remember that whole saga where he didn't have an agent and he had some person named Saint Omni calling the Bears and other teams to try and get them to trade for him? It was a whole weird thing. But anyway, Roquan Smith has, he's been a good player for the Ravens. He's not necessarily putting up the numbers this season that, people had projected he did. Do you guys think, now that we're 2-3 years removed, do you guys think that the Bears trading Roquan Smith was the right move? Jay, I'll ask you, like, do you like, in retrospect, now that, we have the benefit of hindsight, like, do you think that was a good move, or do you think, I don't know, what are your thoughts?
I always liked Roquan a lot. I really did. I understood the trade, why it took place, right? You want to get pieces, you're not going to win. But I also think on the flip side of that, like, Roquan's a dog. He's a guy that you want leading your team and being the captain of your defense. I think he's going to come out, and I think he's going to have a game. I still think there's going to be some bad blood, bad energy, bad juju that he wants to kind of show, what you were missing out. So I if he's fully healthy, it looks like he's going to be playing in back. I would just watch out for Roquan being a little bit extra juiced up for this one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's definitely, like, as a defensive player, you got to use whatever you can, and he seems like a guy who's kind of like petty anyway.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Like, you kind of like, I definitely see that being big fuel for him. Drew, I don't know. Do you think that trading Roquan was the move, or do you think the Bears should have kept him?
Yeah, he great player in his own right. Bears have been defined by their linebackers over the last
4 years.
And,
forever.
So many years. as a defense and a great player. Got a second round pick out of the trade with him, and it gave us Trevon Dexter, which is somewhat been serviceable and good. I think you look at, again, it is a small sample size. You look at this year, and I saw somebody else post this of Tremaine Edmonds' stats versus his stats versus Roquan Smith's stats. And Roquan Smith has like 34 tackles, no subsequential stats of like sacks or pressures or tackles for losses. And Roquan I got confused right there. Tremaine has been an absolute dog for us. So, is it the defense that he's in, or is it just the fact that they're a losing team? Yeah. It gives me nerves going against your sort of red dress thing that Jay always talks about. But at the same time, like, I don't have any regrets to say, like, that would have cost us a lot more to re-up on his contract. And it could have cost us a lot more than just a second round pick that we got for it. Roquan, wish you all the best. He's a seemingly good dude. Never met him in person, but he's a dog and will fight on defense. So,
we'll get him on the pod for the recap.
Exactly. We'll interview him next time around.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, he doesn't need, it seems like he doesn't need much to get going, and just going against your ex team is something that'll punch that through.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, the way I look at the Roquan thing is, like, one, I think that he is one of the better middle linebackers in the league still. Two, there's just something about having a home drafted guy anchoring your team. That's just like something different about it. It just feels good to have like a guy who you drafted who's only been, one team. Like, you look at like your Brian Urlachers, stuff like that. So I like the idea of having a homegrown guy playing linebacker for you. But TJ Edwards, you look at how TJ Edwards has played. You look at Tremaine Edmonds. TJ Edwards is half the price of Roquan Smith. So I do think that has something to do with it as well. I mean, the Bears are kind of a notoriously cheap organization, so I don't think the Bears are going to. And also, if you look in the grand scheme of football, a middle linebacker shouldn't really be taking that much percentage of your cap. Just like a middle linebacker is like kind of it's the running back of the defense. It's a position you can kind of plug and play, at least in the eyes of like most analysts these days. So I don't know. I would have been happy to have Roquan stay, but I also get why they let him go. So it is what it is. I hope he doesn't kill us this week, but
yeah, in one last little cherry on top of that too, I think the whole Roquan not being signed, not really being wanted, was obviously a huge fault of Eberflus in that defensive scheme. I don't think that they valued the off-ball linebacker. You can see a lot of things written on that of how you don't want to spend 20 mil plus on that position. And I get it. I do think that Roquan is different and kind of breaks the mold of that. I think that he's so uber talented. And you saw in the last couple of years when he blended so perfectly into that Ravens defense too, he was exactly what they needed. It kind of speaks to what do you value more, the scheme or the talent? I always kind of lean talent, and you should scheme around the talent, right? You don't want to, but I do get the financials. I do get the replacement kind of value. Hey, if you can get TJ Edwards for half the price, TJ Edwards ain't bad. So I'm not going to get hung up on it, but I do agree with your sentiment, Nick, in that the homegrown guys, that just seems very traditional Bears. There's something there about having a linebacker that's through and through. The captain of that team is a very familiar face, and he plays hard as hell. He's honestly, Roquan's top 3 at that position in the game. Maybe not anymore, but certainly when we traded him in that 2-year window for the last couple of years, he's been absolutely electric for the Ravens. So they got a good deal. Maybe it's a win-win. Who knows? But I miss the guy. I will say that from a fan perspective, I wish he was still on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. Well, I think it's time for us to get into the injury report, just because we've been going a little long on this game, this pregame, so I want to get to some injury stuff. We've kind of sprinkled in a few players here and there as we've been talking. Drew and I last week talked about how excited we were because the Bears injury report was starting to get a little slim, and now it's back to where it always was. So you see, you got, Cole Kmet, didn't mention him really. He did not participate in practice this week. That's a little nerve-wracking. Not that he participates, he doesn't get a lot of targets, but he does block a lot, and he's a lot on the field a lot. So Cole Kmet, probably not going to see him this week. Tyreek Stevenson, we talked about him. He hasn't practiced all week with a shoulder. He's probably not going to play. Not sure if he's been officially announced out, but probably not going to play. So then you got Tremaine Edmonds. He did participate. Kyler Gordon participated limitedly. DJ Moore participated. He didn't participate yesterday, participated today. Same thing with Swift. And then a couple of, we're going to get our first sign of Grady Jarrett in a while. So that's exciting. If that does anything for you.
Yeah.
I do think Grady Jarrett's a good player, and I do think when he's out there, he makes a difference. So that should help the rotation of the defensive line.
Yeah, Nick, I think that Grady Jarrett coming back healthy is I'm not going to overstate his value, but it is critical for this Bears front four to help stop the run, and I think that's going to prove critical. So we'll definitely take that. I did hear earlier on ESPN 1000 when I was picking up my kids, they had Adam Johns from CHGO, however you pronounce that fucking stupid shit. I hate him. But this dude's a good dude. He's working for the man. This dude's pretty cool. He said, don't bank on Cole Kmet suiting up on Sunday.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt. Who knows? Things can change, but he apparently has some inside info per the job description. I've been following him for a while. He's pretty reliable. So I don't see the Cole Kmet out as being like system critical, to be completely honest. But no. Anytime you're losing depth, it's not a great deal.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a critical loss, but I do think it's, a familiar face out there that, Caleb does feel somewhat comfortable throwing to in some instances. Yeah. One other name that popped up on the injury report this week, Nashawn Wright, who's been a pretty solid corner. He missed some time at practice with a hip injury. He was full participant today, so he should be good to go. And Jake Moody, thank you for your service. We will no longer be needing you. Cairo Santos is back, and he will be. I again don't know if it's been officially announced, but I did know it got announced, last week that Ben Johnson wasn't going to, take Cairo's job away due to injury. So if Cairo Santos is healthy enough to kick, he will be the kicker for the Bears on Sunday, and all indications point to him suiting up on Sunday. So again, Jake Moody, thank you, but your services are no longer needed.
Hey, and you know what? Good for Jake. I'm sure he'll get a gig somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to get paid for sure. Absolutely. Teams always need kickers, and he came in. He had one field goal blocked, but everything else he made. So you did a good job.
Yep.
All right. Ravens have they have a lot of guys on the list, but mostly people that participated. Lamar, as we know, limited participant. He's probably going to play. And then DeAndre Hopkins, he did not participate in practice this week. Don't know how much fear DeAndre Hopkins puts into you now. I think he has like a dozen catches on the season right now. Some of them are pretty spectacular, but he's got like a dozen catches and a couple touchdowns. So, that's good, I guess. But one thing I want to talk about, and Drew, I know you called it out kind of on the sheet, is Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney this week, he missed some practice because of rest. We're week 7. A week and a half ago was the Bears bye week. Is this a concern? Do we need to worry about this? Or is this just like a guy in his 30s just kind of, being a vet, not really worrying, not worried about it?
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hope it is just it's just a weird thing to see rest on a DNP. Maybe if you saw it on Wednesday and then it was a limited practice on Thursday, but that seems to be a solid point in the Bears offensive line in Joe Thuney. And if you got to rest this much through week 7 after a bye,
Right.
It gives me a little bit of concern. I did love seeing, if you guys didn't see it, Caleb and him celebrating in the end zone after last week of them giving a big hug to each other. Like, it seems like he has stapled himself into being a solid point of this offensive line, as we always hoped he would be. So it's just like, is this old man rest, or is this just like, okay, yeah, good job. You've done a great part to this point, and we're going to give you a nice day off for that. The one thing I did want to say is the Ravens seem to be coming into this. Obviously, they're coming off the bye. The Ravens did seem to be one of the league's most injured teams. And now it seems like coming off of their bye, they are not injured. Like, we're facing a full force Ravens team. And it's just kind of, it goes back into the Bears mindset of like, oh shit, what else are we going to get here? Obviously Lamar is the biggest thing that we're facing, but you look at things like Kyle Hamilton, who's been one of their staple safeties or secondary players.
He kind of plays everywhere. He's like a Palomalu type. Yeah, he's really Yeah,
and he's a full practice participant. We've got other people. Roquan has been in and out somewhat, but it's just one of those things of like, you get in the Bears mindset, or that mindset of like, oh God, what else could go wrong? Even though we're on a win streak. Yeah, okay, they're healthy. You got to play a very healthy team coming into this. Like, are we ready for that? That's where I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, we'll see, Sunday afternoon, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, Bears are a beat up bunch, and the Ravens, like you said, are coming back. They're all healthy now. It seems like they're getting a full, with the exception of possibly Lamar's hamstring. Obviously, hamstrings, especially to a dynamic athlete like Lamar Jackson, can flare up at any minute. So you never know. You're never fully out of the woods with a hamstring injury. But everybody else, they're coming back and they're ready to go. So it's going to be a very healthy team versus a very not healthy team. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap up our Bears Ravens preview. So Drew, I'm going to kick it over to you, and let's talk some betting fantasy stuff.
Yeah. Let's get into that corner. Talk a little fantasy. And really quick, gonna say just, hey BQ Army, are you looking for your next great place to enjoy a Bears game with great food and drinks and people? Look no further than Chuck's Southern Comforts Buffet on Cass, just off of 55 in Darien. Chuck's has got great food, drink specials for every day of the week, and especially Bears games. You can find a link to all of those in our descriptions, and especially on our bios and socials. $3 PBRs, $5 Yinglings, and more for their Sunday specials, but with a wide open layout for bar patrons with slots, seated dinner guests, and private event spaces. Chuck's has got everything you need for your next outing. So get on down there and tell them that the BQ boys sent you. Maybe we'll even see you next week or in the weeks to come for a Bears game. Right now, we're going to get into the Guillotine League. Love this, guys.
Electric.
Love the most recent kick out. We're all gonna savor and have some good slops here. Paul, our resident Milwaukee fan and Green Bay Packer fan, got kicked out this week. Sorry, Paul. He did give us some good sentiments via text message, saying he would love to join next year and maybe even put some monetary value on this league, but got kicked out this week. So as everyone, I'm not going to ask for consensus, but fuck you, Paul. Thank you for joining.
We should really make "fuck you, Paul" t-shirts. I think those would really,
those would sell like hotcakes.
That'd be pretty. I think that'd be pretty good.
Barely qualified on the front, "fuck you, Paul" on the back. I love that.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
But he makes 7 down, 11 to go. Loving this Guillotine League. Fab this week, gonna talk to you both each about your teams, but Fab this week, we got Josh Jacobs going for 601. I think that's the highest number that we've seen in Fab so far this year.
Baby.
Yeah. Mark Noth takes a, hey, You got to get a running back. Go get him because he's scoring touchdowns. Ladd McConkey goes second for dunk at 175, and then Rico Dowdle for 111 with Mark again. Boys, how you feeling about your Guillotine League teams? Nick, I'm going to kick it to you first.
Well, I've been on a pretty good run of success with Thursday night games. And when you ask me, it's fresh off a Thursday night game, and I'm sitting pretty already. Jordan Mason had 4 rushes for 3 yards and 1 catch for 2 yards. And I started him today. So not feeling as good as I did. Also, I didn't want to. So one, I kind of forgot Jared Goff was on bye when the waiver period was. So I didn't put a waiver on Jordan Love. I also don't like Jordan Love as a fantasy quarterback. I did scoop up Michael Penix Jr., who I don't love, but they are playing the Dolphins, which I do love. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Jordan Mason isn't a guy I really need to contribute a ton. I think he was projected to have like 9 points this week. So having 1.6, it hurts, but it's not, it's not going to kill me. But I do need Jamar Chase. I do need DK Metcalf. I do need, even Cam Scadabo. I need these guys to really play a solid game this week for me. Right now, I am coming into this, I was third. Right now, I'm still third in the project, like third from the bottom in projection. So I'm kind of sweating it a little bit, but I'm feeling okay.
Yeah,
Gee,
not the start we were hoping for Thursday night there.
Not great.
Not great. My squad, I like my squad a lot. I think what's the fun of this Guillotine League, amongst other things, is just the lack of depth on the bench. And when we start getting into 16 bye weeks, it becomes fucking chaos. So if you get wanged with a bye week, you got to get a little desperate, and you might even have to drop some staple named players just to formulate a full roster, or take the risk of trying to play a man down, and who knows. So that's kind of part of the fun of this. For me, I have a couple of guys on buys this week: David Montgomery, Ashton Genty, but I was able to actually pick up a couple of guys, 3 guys actually, that I really enjoyed for zero fab money because I'm out. And I got Ramondre Stevenson last week, and this week I picked up Jalen Waddle. I mean, that's a dead Dolphins team, but I need to start a wide receiver this week, and he might be in if Nico Collins is out, and signs are pointing to him being out with a concussion. And I also got a backup quarterback to Lamar, just in case he doesn't go, in Baker Mayfield for no dollars. So I don't hate that, but we'll see. My conundrum for this week is I have to start 2 of these 3 guys. It's DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, or Nico Collins. All 3 of those guys are with pretty significant questionable marks. So if we get 2 of those guys out, I'm going to have to drop someone from the squad and put in a bum. So it's fun. It's a chess game through and through. If everyone's healthy, I like my team a lot. I think there's good depth to kind of account for the buys. It's not an all-star electric team, but there's guys that should kind of keep you safe, in my opinion, until we get to the last, 7-8 weeks. And, should buy me another month of comfortability. I'll probably be out this week after saying that, but we'll see.
It's a thing for sure. And I mean, we're all now fighting the bye weeks or injuries being still in the Guillotine League. And I definitely think that what's going to come up over the next probably 4 to 5 weeks is, who do you drop for the quality that you can get? And I'm in that conundrum right now of like, I don't have a starting tight end. So I got to figure that out with the amount of bench that I have that can come up. Like Jaden Daniels is on my bench because he's injured. So do I go Jaden Daniels off and hope that somebody isn't an exorbitant amount of fab money going forward? It's a fun new trend, and I love the Guillotine League. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same. I think you are. Let's keep this going for the barely qualified Guillotine League. But yeah, going forward, it's gonna be a learning curve for sure. And there's still a lot of fab money out there. I mean, you look at some of these teams in the league we've got $500+ in some teams' pockets that might be secure or not be secure. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen from week to week in fantasy in the Guillotine League. But yeah, it's fun. And I think it's crazy to say that all three of us are still in this. I would have thought that one of us would be gone by now, but we're all still here. We're all still feeling it. We're all still feeling the heat every week. So we're going to continue bringing that to you guys. And next, we're going to go to some fantasy pick'em. Nick, I'm going to kick it to you. Jay, we got some questions about what's going on with the fantasy league. But
I'll tell you, I ran away with the league so easily last year that I wanted to put a goose egg up just to keep it competitive. So I didn't submit my team. Maybe I was in Vegas. Maybe I was blissfully drunk on an airplane. Who knows? We'll never know, and I'll never tell. But the story I'm sticking with is I wanted to keep it competitive, so I didn't submit a lineup last week.
Yeah, Jay punted them last week, so he didn't want to burn any players. He punted. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right. So, Jay, who was out with Vegas vacation last week, could not participate. So, therefore, it was just me versus Drew. Again, just a reminder, Drew picked a roster of Michael Penix, Saquon Barkley, Drake London, and Rashee Rice. That group got him 42.84 points. I picked a group of Dak Prescott, Rico Dowdle, Cortland Sutton, and Dalton Schultz, who I meant to pick Jake Ferguson. If you listened to the show and you heard me say, I'm gonna get get my
guy.
I'm going to pair my flex with my quarterback, and I picked Dalton Schultz. And you're like, what are you talking about? Dalton Schultz hasn't played for the Cowboys in 5 years. My bad. But I rolled with Dalton Schultz. Jake Ferguson had a nice game, but he's still on the board for me. Dalton Schultz had an okay game too, though, so I'm okay with it. Anyway, I put up 61.36 points, which makes me and Drew we're almost exactly 2 points apart right now in the standings. Jay is about 60 points behind us. So really appreciate that buffer. We'll see if we can, put our foot to your throat like our Bears should be doing.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the standings as of right now. Jay, you had the week off last week, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give you first pick. You get first pick in this week.
Well, don't hate me, Bears fans, but I'm going to take King Henry as my running back to fill in the slot against what I think. Listen, if I'm wrong on this, God bless. I'd love him to fumble the ball 3 times and go for 22 yards, but I'm going to take King Henry against the Bears defense.
I think that's probably a solid play, to be honest with you. Drew, I'm going to kick. You can go ahead and go second.
Yeah, I am doing something weird, really weird here. And I'm going to pick a quarterback first. I'm going to pick a quarterback that is seeing his first action this week. Give me the Red Rocket.
Oh.
Give me Andy Dalton.
1-2 Andy Dalton.
You guys are probably, obviously well-deserved. I think that he is going to have a serviceable game against Buffalo. It's at home. He is a decent quarterback and a quarterback that has a decent amount of weapons in that offense that we've seen. They're 4-3. Let's not confuse that. We might talk about this a little bit later, but they're a 4-3 team. So they need to win. They need to win in the South. So give me Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket.
I like the strategy there. I don't think he would have been around if you waited on him. So
I know.
Definitely good thing you took him second overall.
Nick was going with him. I knew he was going with him in the wraparound. So we
do have a history of taking each other's picks. So I definitely understand why you did that. Okay, I am going to go ahead. I'm going to take a quarterback as well. I'm going to go a little more of the traditional route. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. I think that the Eagles have a lot to prove. They lost to the Giants 2 weeks ago. They are going to be playing the Giants again. I think that that's I think the Eagles are going to be a focus group, and I think they're going to really put a hurting on the Giants this week. And I think that Jalen Hurts, when the Eagles do well, Jalen Hurts he's a very integral part. Obviously, he's the quarterback, but he also runs the ball with the tush pushes and all that fun stuff. So Jalen Hurts is my quarterback. And then for my running back, I am actually going to stay in the Bears game, but I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take DeAndre Swift, who has been very hot lately. So give me DeAndre Swift as my running back. And then Drew, I'll kick it back to you for your second pick.
Yeah, the main reason why I took the red rifle / rocket, whatever, is because I wanted to take this wide receiver, and I was hoping Nick didn't take him. Give me Tataroa McMillan. That is not his name.
It's close enough.
I was gonna say I can't correct you on that one.
We know who I'm going with.
Yeah,
wide receiver 1 to pair with my quarterback. Kid's been hot, and he's been catching, and I think more than Bryce Young, Andy Dalton is a serviceable quarterback, and he's going to get it to the guy that needs to have it. So wide receiver 1 out of Carolina, give me Tataroa McMillan.
I think that's actually a pretty close pronunciation. I'm looking at the spelling of it right now. I don't know how else you'd pronounce it, so that works for me.
Could be something else, but
could be based on it looks like it's how it's spelled. Anyway,
yeah.
All right, Jay, back-to-back picks for you.
All right. So I know I took a Raven in King Henry first, so I'm going to make it up to us Bears fans. I'm going to take Rome Odunze as in my wide receiver spot. And I'm also going to then fill it out, and I'm going to kind of just go back and forth. And I'm going to put Zay Flowers in my flex spot. There might be a theme building here. I might be sticking with all players from the Bears-Ravens game. We'll see.
I like these picks. I was going to take Zay Flowers as my next pick, so I'm scrambling a little bit here.
Well, I'll give you a little cover.
Go back to me really
I know,
quick,
yeah.
I'll get you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
it is your turn.
for a second.
Drew,
Someone who's hot. I'm just gonna ride the hot hand, not the hottest hand of running backs, but give me Devon Achane playing Atlanta. High quality of just offense. Well, not high quality of offense in Miami, but high quality of him being used in the offense. And I think he's going to get his due, as always. So, Devon Achane for me in the running back.
That's about all they got going for them in Miami. So it makes sense.
That's it. Yeah, end of list right there.
That's it.
So, all right. All right. So I am going to take, oh man, I don't love taking either of these guys, but I'm taking two guys who at one point were big, who were high on fantasy radars. They've had disappointing seasons. One bad player, bad has just looked weird, but the other one, bad team. I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver. Got a plus matchup this weekend, which I like. So I'm going to take him as my wide receiver. And then for my flex, God, I just want to double check this matchup because I really don't want to take it if I don't have to. But yeah, the Bengals have one of the worst run defenses in the league. So I'm going to take a guy who might very well put up a goose egg. I'm taking Breece Hall from the New York Jets. The Jets. Jets.
Hey,
gotta win sometime.
Well, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
That's actually true. We've had several teams go. No one's gone 0-17 yet. So
true. But Breece is on the trade block. They might be trying to showcase what he can do. And I don't know what else they're gonna do.
They also might put him on the bench so that he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Breece Hall might literally get like 2 carries in this game, but he also might. I mean, he is a dynamic player. The Jets need dynamic players. They are so bad. They're changing their quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is playing quarterback. He can't throw the ball past 20 yards. They need to do something. I see a lot of screens. I see a lot of just ways to get Breece Hall the ball. So I think it's a good pick. On paper, it's a good pick, but the Jets are always jetting, so you never know.
There's the risk in the Jets for sure. Just a quick plug in for my shambles team in the redraft league. My 3 running backs right now Brees Hall, Chuba Hubbard, and Kenneth Walker III. So I'm in absolute hell in that league. So send help.
Yeah, it's a cold water drink right there, whatever that means. So I'm gonna just round us out here in my flex. I'm gonna go with a wide receiver, and I think this is semi-revenge game for his quarterback. We've got DK Metcalf playing Green Bay. Feel like Aaron Rodgers is just going to try to light up the world against Green Bay, and his number one wide receiver should see some benefits towards that. So I'm going to take DK.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. Jay, finish us off with your quarterback.
All right. I'm 2-1 Ravens to Bears. So my quarterback, I got to stick with our guy and put in Caleb Williams, QB1. Let's go. Let's have a game. Let's win the football game. We want the ball. We're going to score.
Yep. I love that. I don't love how that game ended up for the guy that said that, but I do love that attitude. I believe pick six immediately is how that game ended.
Pick six immediately, game over. There's no flag on the play. Everybody party.
All right. Yeah. So that's it for our fantasy pick'em. We will tabulate our scores and have results for you guys next week. Jay's got quite a mountain to climb. We'll see what he can do. So with that, I think Jay, I'm kicking it over to you for dogs. Is that right? Is that who's doing it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yep.
I think it's the rest of the way, Jay.
We'll do some dogs are hungry. We'll recap. We're not doing so hot. I'm feeling a little under the weather having to say these numbers, but yeah, we'll be transparent about it. We won't doctor history. I decided to sit this one out too. Why? Well, because for reasons that we don't need to speak about, but I am 2-4, bringing up the caboose. Nick and Drew are not too far. I had it 3-4 on the season. Last week, a big goose egg, 0-2 and not applicable. Nick, you took the Texans +3. Drew, you took the Bucks +5.5. No play for Mr. Gray last week. So let's turn that around. And
also, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to say that Texans offense is the most painful thing I've ever watched in my life. And I've watched the Bears my entire life. I have never seen an offense just absolutely refuse. Like,
give up.
The Seahawks were just saying, hey, please come back into this game. We're not winning by enough points. Please keep scoring and making this game close. And the Texans just said, nah, we're good. No, thank you.
Laid down. Laid down and died.
Fetal position, if I've ever seen it. Yes.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Speaking of that, though, for optimism for the Bears game, the Texans hung 44 on the Ravens not too long ago. So it can be done. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Because that is a really bad offense. It is a really bad offense.
So bad.
But yeah,
okay.
No.
Anyway, sorry, go on, Jay.
No, you're spot on. Nick, let's actually turn it over to you. Let's lead us off with the dogs. Let's find some winners. Let's get the good juju going. Who you got this week?
Okay. I'm really happy you picked me first because I have a game that I absolutely love, and I have a stat to back it up.
Okay.
Right? So
yes.
Drew kind of alluded to it earlier. I'm taking the Steelers +3 against the Packers. My stat, Mike Tomlin as his career is 21-7-3 as a home dog.
Hell yes.
That's against the spread. Sorry, not straight up, but against the spread, 21-7-3. That's crazy. So you give me Mike Tomlin at home as a dog against a team who I don't even know if they're that good. And plus you throw in the quarterback because hates that team and wants to revenge on that team. I'm taking that all day long. So I will be hammering this, respectfully or responsibly, I should say.
Non-respectfully. No.
Non-respectfully.
I don't respect you.
I don't respect it, but I will do it responsibly. Steelers +3 at home against the Packers.
I love it. We don't get these kind of statistics outside of the BQ pod, by the way. These are great betting figures from Nick here on that Tomlin line. I love that, Nick. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
That is a great pick.
No.
Drew, Are you prepped? Are you ready? Who's your dog of the week?
Yeah, that was one of one on my board, Nick. So I'm glad you picked it. My second on the board is the ugliest game of the week. How are you going to pick this? Why are you going to pick this? Throw it in the garbage. Everyone's going to say, but I am going to take the Tennessee Titans plus 14.5. Yeah. Throw up in your mouths right now. But Tennessee Titans 14.5 playing an interdivision team in the Indianapolis Colts, which look very, very good. But I think this is a game where it plays considerably closer throughout the game than you might think. It's the NFL. It is two teams that are going to just play against each other no matter what, and give me 2 touchdowns no matter what in the NFL. As a spread, I am always going to take that whenever I see it. That's the largest spread we've seen so far this year. So that by logic standpoint should not stand up. Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I like that pick. Yeah.
It's a points play, right? I mean, it's 14.5. You plug your nose, you flush the toilet, you light a match, and hope the in-laws don't come in right after you. It's kind of what the play is, you know?
Yeah. I also like the fact that, like, you know, look, Colts have been awesome this season, arguably the best team in the NFL. Like, just looking at like their scores and who they played and their record. But I mean, it's kind of like the Vikings last year, right? Like Daniel Jones is on pumpkin watch. Like, regardless of how good he plays, he's on pumpkin watch. It's just the way it is. One of these days, he's going to show up, and he's just not going to look like he has the previous couple of weeks. And, you know, not that the Titans are very good or good at all, but this is very possible this week. So I the number and the fact that Daniel Jones is the quarterback for the Colts, I love the pick.
Yeah, Nick, you said it perfectly. It's pumpkin watch every week with Daniel Jones. And that's one of the benefits of being – maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Yeah. But 14.5, there's room to win. Mm-hmm. Any team's got that in their system to cover 14.5. That's just 100%. A simple fact. Yeah. So I actually like that. I had that written as my third one, Drew. So I'm with you there. My one of one is still available. And it's our hometown Chicago Bears plus 6.5 on the road against the Ravens. Why not? Why not? No further analysis. Fans, the fan show came out to play 6.5. Let's go. Hopefully Lamar's not fully healthy. We'll see. Picking it with my heart. I got nothing else to say there.
Yep. Parlay. If you want to parlay those all with us and you know, catch a winner with us finally, is that plus 5? I just saw it. Shoot, where'd it go? Plus 570 something. God damn it, where'd it go? Plus 573, I think. So not bad. Not just bad.
Juice to be had.
573. Yep, that's it.
Beautiful. Well, let's go to the overs of the week. The next segment, again, we'll kind of rehash through our records here. I, again, sat that one out, sitting at 4-2. Nick at 3-4, Drew at 2-5. I think we're due for a pop. Nick, you took Indy and the Chargers last week. That got us on the board with a win. Drew, the Rams versus the Jags. Is that correct?
Yep.
And that was not so successful.
Missed it by 2.5 points. It was
fucking
miserable.
Field goal away.
Close. Should have happened.
Close, but no cigar. But Drew, we'll kick it over to you. You lead us off with the overs of the week. What's the 101 pick this week?
Yeah, I've not been happy with my picks over the last 2 weeks not hitting. This is my bread and butter. This is what should be hitting for me. And got to tell you guys, I'm beside myself for not picking winners in the over of the week. So this is my baby, and I am going back to something that I think should hit, and we're going to player props. We don't know if player props are going to get shut down with this new basketball FBI investigation that's going to happen. So this is what I'm going to do for the last possible hurrah goodbye. Don't ever think that's going to happen. So barely qualified listeners, keep betting your SPGs, your player props whenever you can. I need Christian McCaffrey over 65.5 rushing yards. And that is against the Houston Texans. Dude's been healthy. We have had some problems with just the health in San Francisco regardless, but he has been a staple and they've been feeding him the ball. Thus, he needs and will hit this. So give me Christian McCaffrey, his over in rushing yards, period.
I dig it. He's a guy, my favorite prop bet to put into parlays this year has been CMC over 100 yards rushing or receiving. And you're going to get bad odds on that, but I love to just throw that in there. He's Mr. Automatic. Hopefully it falls on the rushing side heavy this week. Obviously, get that number high, but I like that. I mean, it's CMC. He's going to get his. He's going to eat. Yeah. Nick, do you want to take us away on yours?
Yeah. So number one overall for me on my board. It's like Jay and the Dogs. I'm taking the Bears Ravens over 49.5. Bears average over 25 points a game. Ravens can put up points. Two pretty bad defenses going head to head. I don't like to pick overs when they're like outdoors. I don't know what the weather's like. I probably should have looked at that, but I'm still taking this. I think that either way, the teams can put up 25 points apiece, and I think that's easy. So 49.5. I love that number for this game, so I'm taking that.
Yeah, Nick, that was my 101. So I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah.
That I had circled. I was trying to complete the every bet was in the Bears Ravens game somehow.
Do you want to switch? I have one.
No, no, I'm good because I actually like this next one, which is going to be in the 50s, but it's Cowboys at Denver.
That's my number 2. That's my number 2.
Perfect. Yep.
That's literally what I was going to take if you wanted to trade.
No, we're good. We'll
yeah.
keep it as is. I was just joshing around, but
I know.
There's a consensus here.
Yeah, there is. The only thing that's a little bit problematic with that one is it is in Denver. It's outside. It's mile high, but I can't see the Cowboys defense putting up much of a fight there. So I like the number. Yeah.
No, I like both of your. I like both of your overs. They're the highest trending overs of the week, and as long as points are scored, which I'm hoping the NFL isn't in this whole like gotta shut down all of that. Like those are 1 and 2 on my list of things for games that you guys should both see. So great picks on the over the week.
Yep.
Right
overs plus 572 if you parlay them all together. So
all right.
Yep.
All right. Let's get in the last. Let's pick some games. Let's talk some money lines. Let's get in the 3-man weave. I know Jay had a week off, but guess what, everyone? We are over 500 as a complete podcast.
Hey, there we go.
Amazing. Want to see it. So if there's anything to track our money lines on things. Jay, season total in the 3-man weave is 22-19-1. Nick and I are deadlocked at 25-23-1. Last week I went 5-2. Nick went 4-3. Jay had the week off. We're gonna start here with the San Francisco at Houston game. Noon slate, pretty even line. I'm going to kick it to Jay first. What are you thinking here on your money line pick?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I know this is in Houston, and I know Brock Purdy's probably not playing still, and it's going to be another Mac Jones fest, but the 49ers have been pretty resilient this year. I don't like this Houston team at all. I just don't. So seeing them -1.5 in favorites was, I guess, a little bit surprising. I honestly thought it was going to be like -2.5 San Francisco. And again, when you're beneath 3, it's not that much either way. All that to say, I'm going to take San Francisco on the road. I just think they're a better complete football team, and we kind of touched on it. I really don't like that Houston offense. I don't. So give me San Francisco as road dogs in this one.
How you feel, Nick?
Yeah, I really thought Houston's offense had turned the corner. A lot of it had to do with the game they had against the Ravens a few weeks ago. The Houston defense is very, very good. They are a very good unit. But that offense, it just makes me sad to watch. Like, it's just not fun football. Like, CJ Stroud looks absolutely lost on every throw.
Nice.
He looks like he has no connection with his wide receivers at all. Their running game is non-existent. It's just an awful offense to watch. So I'm taking the 49ers. I probably won't pick the Texans again this season because of how awful that game on Monday night was.
Their offensive line is trash too. I mean, it is really bad.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that's going to be consensus on this one, boys. I mean, the fact that Mac Jones over 4 games has more passing yards than CJ Stroud at 1,400 to 1,300 is just a statement in itself.
But you're saying CJ Stroud, he has more passing yards than CJ Stroud does for the whole season in those 4 games?
Oh, yikes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That's a concern in my eyes. And you might be missing your number 1 target in Nico Collins. Yeah. Again, like Jay said, 1.5 seemed very reasonable to start, and then it goes further to Houston. Give me all of that on the San Francisco route. It is DeMeco Ryans going back and facing Kyle Shanahan, but at the same time, these teams look on totally different levels right now. So give me San Francisco. And also, they got to keep pace in the West. There's 3 5-2 teams there, and they got to keep going against Seattle, against Los Angeles. So they got to win the games that they can win. So I'm taking that for sure for San Francisco. Next game we've talked about just a little bit, but I do want to focus on it. Nick, I'm going to kick it over to you first. It is the Green Bay and Pittsburgh game. That is the Sunday night game. We're jumping ahead a little bit, but you've got a Green Bay favored team. What are we thinking here?
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting matchup. I'm really excited to watch this game. I'm glad it's a standalone game. Obviously, the storylines, Aaron Rodgers against the Packers. Is this his first game against? No, he played them with the Jets once, didn't he? Maybe this is his first game. I don't know. Either way, it's an interesting storyline. It's not at Lambeau. It's in Pittsburgh. I do think that the team is going to kind of rally around Aaron Rodgers. I think they're going to take it as a revenge game for the whole team. Because whatever I think Aaron Rodgers is a giant douchebag. I think he sucks. But for whatever reason, everyone that he's teammates with seems to love him. So he must be a cool guy behind closed doors. I don't know. But either way, I think the team is going to rally around him. Again, the Packers could go out there and finally prove that, hey, we are a good team, and this is, we're going to be a good team the rest of the season. But outside of that first game against the Lions, I haven't seen much out of the Packers that really shows me that they're an elite team in this league. I'm taking the Steelers win straight up. I took them as my dog. I'm taking them straight up. I like the Steelers in this game.
Jay, how you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think this one's really dependent on who has home field advantage, right? So I am surprised to see Green Bay favored by 3. I'm just not a huge believer in them. I don't think Pittsburgh's great, but I don't know. I'd like Pittsburgh in this game as well.
Short and sweet. Okay. I have just one quote to read to you guys. I found this just recently. And this is the reason why I'm taking against this man, because I hate Aaron Rodgers. I know you both do too, but at the same time, he was quoted this week of, "What do I got to be avenging here? They made me a ton of money. I grew up there, spent a ton of the best years of my life. I've got nothing but love for the organization and nothing but love for the man who replaced me." Yeah. So thus, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick for the Packers there.
Sure.
I don't think it means much to Aaron Rodgers. That dude is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
is.
Just
Can't argue that.
Here. Yeah.
That's
You
my
know,
reason for picking against him.
Yeah,
Weird
I mean,
guy.
what this comes down to is like, who do you hate more, Aaron Rodgers or the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah.
And for the longest time, they were synonymous. They were the same thing. And now they're separate entities. They're playing against each other. I mean, I still hate the Packers more than I hate Aaron Rodgers, but it's honestly really, really close. It's like so close. And that's crazy, but it's very close. I think Aaron Rodgers is such a piece of shit. But I think I will get joy out of seeing him beat the Packers the way he just beat us for so many years. Kind of let them see what it feels like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of the weirdo meter of Aaron Rodgers too, something when we were watching Thursday Night Football, I was kind of checking in on that. They were doing the preview for Sunday Night Football. Every player that they show is like, okay, it was Jordan Love, and he's got his shoulder pads on and his jersey on. He's doing his pose for the preview, and it was Jordan Love and it was Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers just didn't have shoulder pads. He was just in a fucking jersey, in his Steelers jersey, no shoulder pads. And I was like, wait, what's going on there? And then they show the next preview for Monday night is Mahomes and whoever they're playing in their shoulder pads and doing the thing as the camera kind of circles around him. And it's just Aaron Rodgers, no shoulder pads, just a jersey on, looking like a fan at a game. And I think I don't know. Stupid story, but he's a fucking weirdo. I don't know.
Yeah. So fucking weird. And the not to just keep bashing, but I just want to bash on Aaron Rodgers is the other week where it was it Thursday Night Football last week where his offensive lineman kind of tackled him after a celebration of a touchdown, and he like pushed him off and being like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, dude's trying to celebrate with you. Like, just accept the love that you're given. You're a fucking robot. Like, don't do that. Like, fucking ones and zeros with that guy.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. We'll get off Aaron Rodgers, but next game we have Dallas and Denver. I'm gonna pick first here. I really hope that Dallas hasn't found something in their offense. I don't think that Dallas is a longevity play for success in this league. I have to take Denver. I know they are a not heavy favorite, but over a field goal favorite. But in Mile High, that is just a tough game to go in and win. So I'm taking Denver, and then I'm going to kick it to Jay. Jay, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Broncos a lot, but for whatever reason, I like the Cowboys in this game. I can't put my finger on the why of it. I just think it's going to be an explosively offensive game, and with CeeDee Lamb back for the Cowboys too. I mean, the dude can eat, and Dak looks good. So it's more of a bet on the Cowboys offense. I don't think the defense is going to be there, but there could be some opportunistic turnovers at the hands of Bo Nix. I'm going to kind of bank on that. I'm going to pick a little bit of an upset, and I'm going to go Cowboys in this game.
Yeah. How you feeling, Nick?
This is a fun game, too. This is a strength-on-strength game, right? Dallas has a great offense. Denver has a great defense. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that matchup. The Denver offense versus the Dallas defense, that won't be that much fun to watch. They're both middle of the pack. But the Dallas offense versus the Denver defense, that's what you're turning this game on to watch. And for whatever reason, Jay, I'm with you. I think Dallas is going to win this game. I don't know why. Denver's a better team. Honestly, I think I make these picks too personal, and I always just root against Sean Payton. I think I think him and Rodgers should just go move to an island somewhere and never be heard from again, and I would be very happy. So
can you imagine a dinner conversation between them if you're like the third wheel there? Good God.
I couldn't imagine a worse play. I could.
Reek of hubris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just two raw steaks in front of them. Just not gonna talk to you, but I'm gonna eat my fucking bloody steak.
Yeah.
What a visual. They're both shirtless, just eating raw steaks.
And Sean Payton's telling Aaron Rodgers about how he wanted to take him in the first round. Nobody. So Sean Payton leads the league in being like, I wanted to take him in the first round 5 years after they become like a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Sean Payton.
Yeah. I could sense the talent there. Why didn't you take him, jackass?
All right. We're getting some it's
No,
a weird week too.
There's not a lot
We're
of
getting
close, not a lot of close spreads this week.
Not a lot of close lines, so we're going to get in some higher lines. And I apologize if we're picking favorites or anything like that, but it's just the way that the lines swing this week. Next game is a NFC South game where Tampa Bay got to get right somewhat, but you've also got a New Orleans team that needs to get a couple of wins here. Jay, who you got between Tampa Bay and New Orleans here?
Yeah, bizarre pick for me, but I'm actually taking the Saints here to win out. I think that there's some cracks in the armor on the Tampa Bay team. Without Mike Evans, we got a banged up Ibuka. We have no who's the third damn wide receiver? Why is he escaping my name? Chris Godwin.
Yep.
No Bucky Irving. There's a lot of skill positions and players from the offense that are out. I think from seeing Baker last week just was off a little bit. And I think sometimes Baker can kind of hit those stretches of just inaccuracy. The home field advantage of New Orleans plays in very big here. Obviously a less talented team, but it's just, I think things are going to roll the wrong way for Tampa in this one with a little bit of mismanagement, a little bit of inaccuracy from Baker in critical times, and some opportunistic turnovers again. Maybe Baker's trying to be a little Superman and gets a strip sack or two. So give me the Saints in a weird game, in a head-scratching game, but I just have a feeling there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel the same exact way with you, Jay. Dirty game, dirty NFC South game. Although it is in the dome, I do think that we saw the Saints last week, and there's nothing standing out about them on their offense or any part of their game, but it just doesn't feel right for Tampa Bay after last week against, yes, it was the Lions. So I'm going to take as well with you the New Orleans Saints to win at home on this one. Nick, you consensusing or we wavering the other side?
Gentlemen,
let me bring it back.
The New Orleans Saints smell worse than the shit I took pre-show. They're not a good team. Spencer Rattler is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. He's got one win in like 13 career starts. The Saints are awful. And we were talking about Baker Mayfield MVP last week. They've already missed Chris Godwin for games. They've already missed Mike Evans for games. They've already missed Bucky Irving for games. The Bucs are going to get right here. I thought we were going to talk about how weird this line is, and the Bucs were only -4.5. I thought that was going to be the conversation here. Now, maybe this is a Vegas knows something I don't situation, because even though it's at New Orleans, I'm putting this game at 6.5 easy. 4.5 seems low to me. Anyway, all that to say, I'm taking Tampa because I don't know. Call me crazy, but I like to pick the better team in these pick-up situations. So
hey, it's the NFL though.
No, for sure.
Things happen, but no,
I typically am pretty mild-mannered on these. So the fact that I went out and did all that, the Saints are. I'm gonna probably bet Saints money line now because
no. You
no,
do
I'm not going to.
Don't waver.
I'm just trying to jinx. I'm trying to
else.
jinx my jinx. I'm trying to neutralize my jinxes here.
Reverse the reverse.
It's a tried and true strategy for sure.
Yeah,
it almost were. The Cubs when the Cubs were in the playoffs, I started betting on the Brewers every game just because every time I bet on the Cubs, they would lose. So I'd bet on the Brewers. So anyway, it didn't.
Cubs would win.
The classic RJ, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Anyway, RJ.
All right.
Anyway.
All right.
Bucs.
Two
Bucs
games before we get to the Bears here. We're talking interesting. Another one. Touchdown spread, but Cleveland at New Orleans. I'm sorry, New England. Jay, give me what you got.
Yeah, this is another weird one for me. For some reason I like it's the Patriots, and it's pretty obvious why. Patriots at home. Shit, -7 looks attractive. So the money line sure as hell should if you get, in this activity. So I'll just keep it simple. Stick with the Patriots, chalk up a win.
Nick, you feel the same?
Actually, here's the deal. I think I'm going to take the Browns here. I know we're not doing spreads, right? We're doing the money line. 7 points a lot. But let me just give you guys a list of the teams the Patriots have beaten this season. Giants, Raiders, Dolphins. They lost to the Steelers. Panthers. They did beat the Bills, so that's impressive. And the Saints and the Titans. Those are the teams the Patriots have beaten. So, yes, the Patriots have a good record. But are they actually a good team? I don't really know because they've beaten all the bad teams in the NFL. And the Panthers, I guess they're not so bad, but the Panthers are different at home and the road, and they've won it in Gillette. This game's in Gillette. I don't know. I just don't think the Patriots have been like punched in the mouth the way that Cleveland can. Cleveland's defense, let's not forget, Cleveland has a good defense. Yeah. Quinshot Judkins is emerging as a pretty solid rookie running back as well. I don't know if the Patriots have faced a physical team like the Browns yet, because even like they played the Bills, who's the best team they played. Bills are a little bit of a finesse team. They're not like a punch you in the mouth team. Cleveland is all they got is punch you in the mouth. That's it. They don't have any flash. There's no flash to them whatsoever. It's 100% punch you in the mouth. I think New England probably wins this game, but I'm taking Cleveland because I think that they have a puncher's chance because they're going to punch a lot. So give me Cleveland.
It's really fucking fantastic analysis. I'm not going to lie.
That is great analysis. The only opposite I'd take is the New England Patriots have been on the road for 3 games. They get back to home and haven't played an amazing schedule away, but they've won 3 games in a row, and it's just a coaching standard of just win that game. You have to win the games that you should if you're going to be a winning team in this NFL. They are 5-2 and competing with the Bills. So, yeah, give me New England. I do like the analysis, Nick. I do think Cleveland, they don't have something, but they will have that puncher's chance in every game. So, next game, which I'm going to start this one because it's a puncher's chance sort of game for me, is does the New York Jets get off the schneid? And I'm taking a yes here.
Oh,
holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just to go against because I know where everybody else probably is. Cincinnati, yes, they got a new quarterback in Joe Flacco. I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think their offense is sustainable. I don't think in any way, shape, or form we should say that Cincinnati should be a 500 team just because Joe Flacco went over to that team. And that's what I think this line is, 1, pushing towards, and 2, that they should compete in all games. I think it should be closer, and I think it's going to be that puncher's chance like Nick was talking about in the previous game with the Jets. They don't know who their starting quarterback is, yes, but at the same time, this could be a dirty-ass game on a dirty-ass field where I want the Jets to just win a game. So that's where I'm taking. And Jay, if you don't echo my sentiments on that one, I totally understand, but where are you picking?
Yeah, I mean, this one, I'll just kind of keep it simple. The Bengals are bad. The Jets are worse. So give me the least of the bad, and I'll take the Bengals.
All right.
I mean,
Short and sweet.
I think as far as games go, the Jets do have more of a chance in this game than some other games because I just don't see a lot of wins on their schedule because they're just such a bad team. But I mean, the Bengals have so many weapons. I mean, you look to the out, you got T. Higgins, Chase, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You got Chase Brown in the backfield. There's so many weapons on the Bengals. I just don't know if the Jets have a defense that can hold any of these guys. I don't think Flacco is going to be the reason. I don't think he's going to go out there and throw 5 touchdowns again like he did on Thursday night last week. But I think this is going to be a sloppy, ugly under game.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. Okay. Then we get to last game here. I think we know where a majority of us lie, but I'm going to kick it to you guys first. Here, Jay, let's talk Bears. Let's talk Ravens, who we got on the money line here.
Yeah, it's a big heart week for me. So I'm taking the Bears here. I think we're going to extend the streak to 5. I think that the way that the coaching is kind of extracted more and more fight and skill throughout the early part of the season against the Ravens defense that's really not so good. And I think that it's really going to establish that run game. And I think Caleb shows up too. So I think it's going to be a high scoring affair, something in the 31 to 28 range. But I like the Bears' chances here. I like the Bears. I'm definitely going to put I definitely am going to put a 6.5 plus 6.5 bet in. I'll sprinkle a little bit on the money line too in an 80-20 ratio. And let's lock in. Let's get a Bears win.
Nick, how you feel?
Yeah, just a little quick story. My buddy Jamal, who you guys have met a few times, known him forever. He is a big Ravens fan. He loves the Ravens. He lives 3 houses down from me now. I'm playing against him in 2 fantasy leagues this week, and the Bears are playing the Ravens. This is a very personal week for me. The Bears were going to win this game, and I'm going to go plant my Bears flag in his front yard, and I'm very excited. So bear down. Bears beat the Ravens.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done with picking for other teams after we've seen what is happening with the Chicago Bears, especially in the coaching standpoint, like Jay pointed. This is a coaching game for me that you just need to manage the game. Yes, Caleb is there. He needs to have a good game, but you need to manage this game more than anything because coming up, you have 2 more games that you should win. And this is a big hurdle to show that you are a staple in the NFL. So I'm going with the Bears as well. Consensus, shake the ground because we are in a consensus with the Bears for probably the first time since week 2. But yeah, that's where we're going to end. And ending is where we're going to get to right now after the money line 3-man weave. And we're going to get into some closing thoughts for this week. We're going to talk over to Nick first for some closing thoughts of the week going into preview here.
Yeah. For my closing thoughts, I'm going to kind of get away from the world of sports. Something I've been really interested in doing again lately, and something I used to dabble in a little bit and I haven't done in a while, is I went on Facebook Marketplace and I bought myself an electric guitar. And I've been hanging out with the boys in the basement, and they've been just kind of like my youngest, he's got a little Guitar Hero guitar that he likes to play and pretend like he's like playing real guitar. So he's been kind of standing with me while I play that. I've been kind of letting the boys try the electric guitar. I don't really know. I'm not very good at guitar, but it's something that I've been trying to get back into. It's another hobby I'm trying to collect. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time with that. Been kind of like teaching the kids a little bit. Not that I know what I'm doing, but just kind of teaching them the very basics. It's been a lot of fun. So that's kind of what I've been up to a lot in my like weeknights, is just playing my guitar. So
dude,
that's it.
Nick, I love that, man. How's it been getting back on the bike? Is it
real bad?
Yeah.
Real bad. It's been my kids think I'm like a rock star because I can play a couple power chords. But yeah, it's been just not good. I still need to, I have like an old amp that I had from 20 years ago. It's like a little Squire, not it's a tiny little amp. I need to get a real tuner. I've been kind of tuning by ear. It sounds like shit, but I need to get a real tuner. And I need to just, I don't know. I need to really lock in and watch some YouTube videos or something, because it's been a while. But no, it's fun though. Like it's just a fun thing. I thought it'd be cool to do with the kids and also just get good at that. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
You rocking some Blink out there, or what's going on?
I've been playing a lot of Blink-ish, like Green Day stuff, like just kind of easy pop punk power chord stuff mainly, because that's really all I got at this point. So maybe we'll graduate something a little bit better.
Dave Grohl dad right there. Yeah. Dave Grohl dad. Nick. Yeah. Yes. Love it.
Very nice.
Hey, what do you got in the closing thoughts here?
Yeah. Very exciting. Georgia signed up, my oldest daughter, Georgia signed up we got her signed up for some cheerleading, like a 1 week
Nice.
cheerleading boot camp, where at the end of it, so it's Tuesday, Thursday, there's only 2 kind of like lessons, and they go to the high school cheerleaders teach all these kids like a dance and a cheer, and then they get to do it on this coming Saturday at the Lyle High School football game.
Oh, nice.
Which is going to be at Benedictine. So they get to go on at halftime and do their cheer. She's got pom-poms. She's got her whole thing going on. She's over the moon about it, and it is an absolute blast. So, if anyone wants to come out, Benedictine University in Lyle, Illinois, 5:30 on Saturday. Halftime is going to be spectacular. She's also cheering and dancing to Soda Pop from the K-pop Demon Hunters, which is awesome. And she was showing me the dance today before bed, and she's just, smile ear to ear. So you gotta love, you gotta love sports and the kind of stuff that the kids can get into. And cheer is definitely a sport. So, and I got 2 girls, so being able to blend that with a little bit of football is a lot of fun too. So I'm excited for Saturday. Our fam's going to show up and be there and have a little celebration for us. It's proud dad moment. Very excited.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Anything you can blend into the multicultural sports game of whatever you can cheer on. That's amazing. That's amazing. Go Georgia. My closing thoughts this week are on drivers, the people that drive. I have recently obviously moved, and I cannot speak more than I just don't understand other people that are on the road. And yes, I have a route planned in my head of going to my new house and my old house. Sometimes I forgot it, but I just, if you're on the road on a daily basis, please just have intent on where you're going more than anything else, because I think all of us feel like whenever there is a question driver in front of you, just go somewhere. Please, God, don't stop in front of me. Don't do anything wrong. Otherwise, I'm going to shout. I think I need a loudspeaker above my car to yell at everybody else on the road of what's going on. So my closing thoughts are just drive with intent wherever you're going. That way the roads are maybe not safer, but just more impactful towards everybody else that you're on the roads with. So weird closing thought for me there, but hey, that's what we want. So I appreciate you, Nick. I appreciate you, Jay, for joining me on this preview show for the Bears versus the Ravens. And as always, guys, we will catch you next week, hopefully after a Bears win on the flip side. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.